All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Mastering the Mindset, the podcast. This way, Kalencho.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It took us a while. We are sorry for the delayed podcast. We had some issues with our scheduling because we are both busy.
Super busy.
It's insane. Like, I don't think either of us or neither of us, I'm not really good in English, neither of us or either, I don't know, whatever, realized how hard it's going to be to, how can I say it, align our schedule
in the output.
Yeah, just like get our schedules together aligned. And just aligned and make it work. So we are sorry that we've been kind of missing out on the content in the last 2 weeks, but we just doing our best to collab and to come together as often as possible.
Well, that's a good intro for the topic that we want to talk about, because we wanted to actually talk to you guys about scheduling, planning, and building routines, and getting a schedule set up and sticking to the schedule and what it means for your work ethic, and how you can actually build a schedule that works in practice, and what our experiences have been so far with our different schedules, because I think we've both been on different schedules. Like, we've both been changing a lot over the course of the years with what we're doing and what we have been doing, and trying things out. I think it's good to just, I guess, talk about that and maybe interview each other about our different experiences, what it means to have different routines and what routines mean to us, and what, how to build a schedule that helps you to achieve what you're trying to achieve and to be consistent with the output. Because that's exactly what we're trying to do here with the Mastering the Mindset podcast. We're trying to align our schedule, which is even a trickier task than building our own schedules and sticking to our own schedules. And then like aligning those schedules together is even more of a quest. And then try to be consistent with what you're putting out there, because people are relying. I think it's really important that you are consistent with what you do, because that's, in my experience, what people are coming back for and what people get excited about. Like, when they have their routines and their workday, and you say, well, there's a podcast popping on every Tuesday, 7 p.m., then people are looking forward to Tuesday, 7 p.m., and they're waiting for it. And if it doesn't come, they're going to be, they're going to be like disappointed once, and then they're going to be disappointed twice. And the third time, they won't care anymore. So that's when you've lost them. And that's what you don't want. Like, you want people to pick up on it and be happy with it and be like, just getting onto your stuff and getting onto your content.
Super, super important. I think consistency is something that helped me a lot to build, my community and my social medias. And it's one of the things I would say I'm known for really being or trying my best to be consistent. So I think it's super important, and I'm happy actually that we missed those 2 or 3 podcasts. I think even because at least now we have a topic, and we can kind of bring our point of view and just kind of let our audience see behind the scenes and what it actually takes to not only stick to your own schedule and be consistent on your own, but actually when you want to collab with someone or you want to work with someone, how hard and actually at the same time how important it is to align those schedules together. So I'm happy that it came natural to us, because like we've been thinking about what we have a list of topics that we would like to talk about, and I'm happy that it came naturally, the topic for this week. So
that's what I think is really important about what you're doing, because if something or a topic comes natural, it is the most authentic to talk about, and I think it's the most interesting to listen to, because that's what people are really interested in. Like, I'm interested in hearing, let's say, what is the like, if I see some like a top performer, like say Fedor Holz in poker, I want to know, like, what is a day in a Fedor Holz life looks like? Like, what is he doing different that I'm doing? Like, what kind of schedule is he building? What kind of routines is he building that helped him become so successful in what he's doing? And what's the key ingredient? And I think like there's always lots to learn from getting an insight into that. So I think maybe it's a cool idea. Like what I would suggest is, like, we could, as I said in the beginning, I think it would be cool if we just sort of like interview each other about how we got started on building our routines, what we had as our routines or as our schedules in the beginning, and how they evolved, or how we changed them over the course of what we were doing for the last couple of years. So
Good
maybe
idea.
I'll just start with you and just interview you.
Come
What
at
was
me.
your first? What was your first, when you got started with Twitch and streaming and making content? What was your first kind of scheduling approach? How did you want things to be?
When I started, I kind of knew that I really have to be in front of the people as much as possible, which means I have to stream a lot. So actually, when I started streaming, I think the first 2 or 3 months I streamed 6 days a week. Actually, it was 6 or 5, but I think it was 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I had the challenge as well, so not only I had to be, present on Twitch to build my community, but I really had to put in the work for the challenge to kind of start and be successful. So the first 2 to 3 months were just insane. I just got the studio, the streaming studio, the old one, not this one. It was just, looking back at it, I have no idea how I was able to, last that long without just losing my mind or collapsing or having any health issues. It was insane. Like, I literally streamed 6 days a week. I streamed, basically, it was insane. I'm just talking about, I get goosebumps. Like, I streamed after I was done with streaming, and it was like 2-3 a.m. I edited the video immediately after the stream.
I saw on your Instagram and stuff like that.
Immediately after the stream, and I put it out the next day. It was 6 days a week for like 2-3 months. It was like, it's insane, but it's really what helped me, to build what I've built, and to have the kind of views that I got at the beginning were just insane. And I think consistency and actually go in this risky or going with this risky nonsense schedule helped. But of course there was a way to do the same thing that I did, a little more healthier, I would say. So yeah.
But I sorry to interrupt, but I can so relate to this, because this is the same shit that I've been going through. Because like, it's the start of something. When you start a new project, when you start a stream, and you see that there's a sort of hype building, or like a little community building, and the snowball gets rolling, like, you're so excited that after the stream, you're just so pumped. You're just like, that stream was awesome, that clip was amazing, that spot was amazing. I want to put this into a highlight. I just want to immediately put it out on YouTube. I want to immediately like make a clip out of it and put it on Instagram. Like, that was the same thing for me. And I was like, you're really excited. So you're in that state where everything that you do is, you're just like, you're putting it aside. Like, top priority is just like, I'm gonna make the content, and the next day I'm gonna stream again because it was so much fun. So basically, you let the fun and the fun part, you let it rule your schedule. So to say.
For sure. Like, I was so excited to just,
Yeah.
and I still am to some degree, but I'm more mature now. Like, I'm a seasoned streamer now. Like, but yeah, like 2, 3, or even 4 months, I think, were just insane. As I said, I streamed, I edited the video. I woke up, like, I was sleeping in the studio as well on the mattress. That's like it's insane. Like, that's the background story that even people come to my stream now and see the studio now, and the nice couch and everything is cozy and everything. But if you go and look at my old videos, they're just a mattress in the background and just empty room. It was just really savage, beginning.
That's the kind of spirit that I really like. It's this like pioneer spirit where you just discover something for yourself and you find it really exciting. And I think it's the most natural and authentic way to go about, because it shows that you're doing the right thing. It just, first of all, like, of course, it's totally unhealthy. It's totally not good for you. And you realize it like the more you're into it. But at the beginning, I don't think that matters too much, because all you need at the beginning is to see if it's really for you, if it's really something that gets you excited so that you actually want to sleep on that mattress in that studio every day and want to go ahead and like start editing, and not like stop streaming and go like, oh, I want to go home and like watch Netflix or whatever. So if that's the case, like probably it's not the right thing.
No.
So that kind of mindset that you have, I think that's the same that I experienced. So we share that experience to some extent, to a huge extent. It's like it shows you the way. It shows you which way you want to go, and if that's the right kind of thing for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it wasn't. I never. Now I kind of feel sorry for my old self, but when I was in it, I never felt like, oh my God, I have to sleep on these matches. I have so much, work to do. I stream so much. Like, I'm tired. It was none of that. Like, I was hungry as hell. It was insane,
Yeah.
And I still have that to some degree. Like, I still sleep at the studio. I even put out more content, but I'm putting it out in a more, organized way and more chilled way. But yeah, of course, that's, after some time and, after living like that for a couple of months, I started feeling the consequences of living like that, and that's when I kind of started switching or changing my schedule a little bit. And that's when I started to be in a little bit more organized, especially with the editing, because it was just nonsense for me to stream and edit immediately and sleep for 4 hours. I literally slept for four hours for like those 4 months every day. So you can kind of predict what that does to your body. I lost weight. When I started streaming, I was 93 kilograms. When I realized I'm losing weight, I was like 73. So I lost my, yeah.
That's insane.
So yeah, that's not the healthy way to live and to be. But yeah, you just don't realize it while you're in it, Yeah. And of course, when you see the numbers build up and your community build up and just the views and numbers, you kind of get lost in it, and you don't really realize the rest, but yeah, it was and once this is actually, now when I'm thinking about it, I think I realized it when my girlfriend told me about it and my parents told me about it as well. So it's like, they were like, oh, like, you're losing weight, you look like a zombie during the day, So I think it's really important to have the right people around you to kind of hold you down when it's time and they see that you're not living healthy. So after just talking with my girlfriend and talking with my parents, I just was like, okay, it's time to be a little more organized. So I started streaming less. I switched to 4 days a week, and I just basically streamed, went to sleep, I edited the next day, went to sleep. It was just like, it was still intense, but it was a little more relaxed. And yeah, basically, like, I think what's really important when you're trying to schedule something is to decide, how are you going to spend your time while you're awake. I don't really think it's about, how many hours you sleep. I think it's about what you do when you are awake, Of course, you can get more stuff done. When you have 18 hours a day, you sleep for 6 hours, you still have 18 hours a day to put in the work. But I think it's totally okay to sleep 8 hours and still have 16 hours that you can put in, to whatever you think is gonna bring you value, or to whatever you feel like is good for you. So one advice that I would give to people is just to think about what's important for you. Realize that you have 7 days a week. Realize how many hours you want to sleep. Realize how many hours you are awake, and just split the time to the activities that you want to do. So yeah. But since I switched from that unhealthy schedule to the healthy schedule, I was able to remake the schedule based on, of course, like your life changes constantly. Like you got some new things that you want to do, like some projects or whatever. So it's just really important to realize it's in your hands and it's up to you how you spend your time. So it's not about having time, like all of us have time. It's about how you decide to spend your time.
Yeah. It's priorities.
Yep.
It's just priorities.
Yep.
And figuring out the priorities is like a process, like self-reflection and a lot of self-awareness. As I just said, I think you just first of all got to find out what you really want to do, and what is your what's the core of your what you want to do every single day, and then what do you need to sort of like enhance that, distribute it, put it out to different channels, and then maybe also if you want to do a side hustle, if you want to like do something else, if you have the time or if you're into it. But like I think it's about priorities, and it's also about like when people. I've never been a strong believer in balance when it comes to like private and business life, or like have this like work-life balance or whatever. Like for me, it's always like life has always been work and work has always been life, because I mean it's one of the biggest parts of your life when you work. Everybody, like people even that do 9-to-5 jobs, I mean it's a third of their life. A third of their life they work, a third of their life they spend on leisure, and a third of their life they sleep. So it's a third of your life. So how can you say like work-life balance? Of course you can have a balance, but you also must acknowledge that it's a huge part of your life, and you gotta organize it in a way, schedule it, organize it, and put it in a way that it enhances your life, and not like that it's something you hate, or something you don't want to do, or something you just do because you need to do it so you can afford like the leisure, you can afford to like stay afloat. Of course, a lot of people have to, and we're in a different position. So we're very blessed, and yeah, I mean this is something different, but like I think it comes down to reflecting on being self-aware and like thinking, so what do I want to spend my time on, and like where do I want to go with this, and just make sure that this is going to be a big part of your life. So make it in a way that is comfortable for you, but also in a way that it motivates you and drives you to keep on going, and to experiment, strive higher, explore options, and also be okay with trying different schedules as well, of course, and like just seeing how it works out, right?
For sure. Like I would say, not being actually, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Don't be too romantic about when you are not able to stick to the schedule, I would say as well.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I've been put to the test now when we missed 2 episodes. I was totally okay with it. I wasn't like, oh my god, like you're missing out too much content. I was just like, don't judge yourself, and just when you. Even if you go to the gym, like if you miss a day, you can always go tomorrow. Or even if you don't go tomorrow, you just don't beat yourself, don't beat yourself up when you're not able to stick to the schedule for some reason. So how about your scheduling? Like when did you started to kind of realize that you need to be organized?
Yeah, so basically I just started out when I started streaming. It was pretty similar to what you described. It was like this, I wanted to do it every day. I just want to be out there every single day. I don't want to day, because the moment I miss a single day is like the moment I think like, oh fuck, I'm missing out on another opportunity to build this community, to build this thing, to do what I really enjoy, because I really enjoy it. But you know, when you've been streaming and when you've been putting yourself out there, people think like streaming is I think a lot of people think that streaming is a very, very sort of easy thing to do.
And chilled and
like
easy.
A very chill thing.
It doesn't take a lot of
chill job, you know. Mm-hmm. It's an easy way to make money. Just like they would think of a poker player. It's funny because it's so similar. People would say to me, "Oh yeah, I would love to be a professional poker player because it's so easy. You just sit down at your computer in your home. You sit in your underpants. You just play some tables and you make money. And like you don't have to go anywhere. You're free. Like it sounds like such an amazing, easy job. And like they don't know what comes with it. You have to study. You have to study the fuck real hard. You know, you have to outsmart your opposition all the time. You have to be present at the tables. You have to perform like an athlete all the time. That's what they forget. So you have to put in the work when you're downswinging. Like you have to make sure you make money when you're downswinging and you're paying the rent, and you have to have enough bankroll to fall back on when things are going bad. And like that's what people don't consider. Like it's like this sort of like myth, or this sort of like I don't know what to put it. You know what I mean? It's like people have a total wrong impression of a professional poker player. And it's the same with streaming. People say, "Oh yeah, I would love to be a professional streamer," because you just have to talk to the camera all day, talk to the chat, play some poker or play some other games, and just be like, no, that's not what streaming is about. Like you have to be entertaining. You have to make good content. You have to always be present. You have to talk to the people. You have to engage with the people. You have to react to their questions. You have to answer their questions. Like it's constant. It's a really intense work. I would say it's super intense. And you realize that the moment you stop streaming, because the moment you stop streaming for me is like there's so much adrenaline still in my body. Just like after playing a poker tournament, I need like 2-3 hours to like get down from it. Like I have to ride my bike first for half an hour. When I ride home, just chills me out. Listen to something, like listen to a podcast or do something other. When I come home, I still have to do something else. I have to watch like something. I have to watch like a series, or like I really have to do. I can't like come down from streaming and just straight go to bed. That's not working. Like people might come home from work and they could go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna watch like a Netflix episode and then I'm gonna sleep. So well, it's sort of it's a different thing, because you don't stop thinking about your work the moment you get off work, right? I mean, that might be the case for other people too when they have a 9-to-5, but I think for most 9-to-5 people, or for people that like have a job that maybe is not, where they're not like, they don't have to be their own boss. They don't have to manage, they have to micro and macro manage everything, because that's what we do. Like we micro and macro manage everything around our business, around our streams. Like your mind doesn't turn off after the stream. So it just keeps on ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking. Even when I go to sleep, I think about what I'm going to do. What's the plan for tomorrow? So when I'm going to put out that clip, what I'm going to do as the next content piece. Like I want to do this video. I want to do that, you know, when I'm going to do my taxes, so you get all sorts of like stuff going through your head all the time. So so where was I actually? Now I'm drifting off. At first I was like, you know, streaming all day. And then I realized, hey, there's more to streaming. Like you could set this up in a more professional way. You should try to find some form of distribution for the stream and just try to grow the stream in a different way by making more content for other channels as well. So I started looking into that, and then I asked, hey, are making YouTube videos, and people are making Instagram clips, and people are making Facebook posts, and you could do like little pieces of content that you want to create. So I started looking into that, and it looked like really exciting. So I started doing that as well, and just got into that and just like tried things out. And that was all over the place. So I did it like after the stream and in the mornings, like before breakfast even, or after working out, I just did a clip. I just felt like I want to do this right now. But what I realized very, very quickly, and I think I'm a little different to your stories here, that, I had to I had to start building good routines because I have a health problem. Like I have a chronic stomach disease, and that kind of chronic stomach disease kind of forces me to really take better care of myself, and stick to good habits, get good sleep, and just try to get good meals as well, and just be all around very healthy, and stick to good routines here. So that kind of like put everything into perspective very quickly, or into a certain schedule very quickly. So that kind of helped me in a way. I think a lot of people would be a little bit different. Like it would be more like in your case, where you just like you stream and then you edit, and then you stream again and you edit, and you forget everything else around it. But I couldn't have done that because my body immediately says no. It's like I break down immediately, and like I can't continue. And if that's the case, well, I don't want this to happen. So I know that I can't stream. So obviously I have to take care of myself there. So it's a little bit different, I guess, for me in that regard. And I had to put everything into a certain schedule very quickly. So I would say like half a year or a year into streaming, I started thinking of like, so what are the best times that my body and my brain perform optimally? And I found out that my brain works best in the morning hours, and my body is working until like say 6-7 p.m. So right now, actually, it's not really my time anymore. But like talking is like talking, having just like doing this podcast is relaxation, sort of like, But yeah, I think like my brain works best in the morning. My body works 7 in the evening. So I need to I knew that I need to put my stream into this amount of window, like into this window exactly. And that's when I figured out, okay, so when my brain works best, because I like to do poker training, and I like to teach people poker. So what I thought, okay, so if I do a training class in the morning, that's best in the morning because my brain works best, and I'm super fresh, and I can like deliver the content that I want to deliver. So I put it there. And in the afternoon hours, I'm going to go ahead and grind, play my poker, and show them what I stream, and then grind until 6 or 7 until my body says you got to stop and you got to go home. So that's kind of like how I built my schedule. And I knew sort of like this has to be the schedule because everything else just doesn't work for my body. And it's not going to be healthy. And if I'm not healthy, I can't continue what I'm doing on the long term. So I was immediately looking for the long term health value in it because I know I'm in this for a long time. I want to be in this as long as possible. So yeah, that was kind of like the approach I took. And within these boundaries, like you have a lot of flexibility, and I'm struggling at the moment, even as we speak, because before we started the podcast, I told you about it. I'm really struggling at the moment as well because I've tried out so many different schedules as well, and so many different things that I want to do and experiment with, like sort of what types of tournaments to play, what types of games to stream, what types of times are better or best. So for instance, I've tried streaming training in the evening, and that didn't work at all because it works for my audience, because my audience likes to have training in the evening because they go like, well, we come home from work, so we want to watch you when we come home from work. So that's cool. That's awesome. Double thumbs up, Flix. That's amazing. Then I go live at like 8, at like 6 or 7, and I do the training, and I'm like,
what are the odds?
I can't deliver.
What are the odds?
I'm done. And people realize, oh, that's not the Flix we know. That's not the Flix we want. So yeah, I can't do it like that. So this kind of automatically sort of puts my things into the perspective, or into the sort of boundaries that I can move within. But how to navigate within these boundaries, like I haven't optimized yet. I'm still in the process, and I'm still like looking for new ways to optimize, because there's so much to. There's not only streaming, like there's making a podcast, making YouTube videos, making Instagram clips, all all sorts of other ideas that you have, live projects, doing live poker gigs or whatever, meetup games, sort of these things. So, well, yeah, I think so. When it comes to scheduling, I think the best tip that I can give, but that's only from my perspective as somebody who is really, let's say, health damaged or has some health limitations, is that your body and your mind already give you the boundaries within you should operate, and you just gotta make the best use of that time frame, and just find out like what's the optimal use of time that brings me the most value in terms of what I want to achieve, but also what brings you the most fun, and most enjoyment, and because that ultimately is the driver for you to keep it up long term. Because if it's not fun anymore, then all of a sudden, like after half a year or after a couple months, you're gonna be like, I can't get up to do this anymore. Like I'm burned out. I don't want to do this right now. And that's the moment when you probably should change something within these boundaries.
Yep.
That's what I found out. So yeah,
definitely.
sort of different perspective approach.
The fun part always drives you, even if you don't have the energy. If you know it's gonna be fun, you're still gonna do it. It's always whatever you do. If it's something that you enjoy doing, it's not really. It doesn't feel like you have to do it. It's always.
That's a very good point also, because I had not one time, but last year, for instance, I set myself this, because when it comes to routines, I'm very strict on myself. I like routines. I love routines because I think they help you. They're the foundation, because you can always fall back on them. Like, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to do this and that and that. And that gives you some sort of stability. It gives you like some sort of like, oh, this is the clear path that I have to go. And because we are self-employed, we need some sort of plan or routines to stick to, because otherwise it's a chaotic mess. It feels like you're not getting anywhere, and you're not really making any progress, and you're not really knowing which way to go, because you don't have anybody telling you, so today you got to do this. This is the type of work you have to do today, because we're our own bosses. We have to decide what is in our best interest and what's in our business's best interest to do next. And having routines helps you, because okay, this is what works. So if I keep doing this and keep growing this until I find a point where I might, want to do something different because it doesn't work anymore that way. But if something works, just like in poker, if something works, you want to keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. Because it's a good thing, because it helps you build a foundation and build
discipline as well.
Build discipline, build something to fall back on, to like know, okay, this works, I gotta do this. So this gives you some security.
Do you have some morning routines? Like what do you do in the morning?
A lot. I'm a big fan of morning routines. Like I just love getting up very early. I just get up at 6. Then I just there's a lot of different morning routines that I have, like, washing my face first when I get to the sink, and like shaving, even though I don't have a beard, I
don't have a beard either, bro.
I don't have a beard, but I still shave every morning, because like I start with making my bed, then I shave.
One question, Felix, if you stopped shaving, would it grow? Would there be like a ginger beard?
Nah, it wouldn't be a beard.
Not like this?
No. It would be like red.
Can you try?
I could try. November is already gone, so no Movember for me. I wouldn't be able to.
That would be dope. You would look good with a beard.
Thank you. Well, so I make my bed, I shave. That's the first 2 routines. I make a glass of water with turmeric in it.
With what in it?
Turmeric. It's like a spice. It's a very healthy spice. The Vietnamese and the.
I know what you mean. The green long stuff.
No. It's actually it's a yellow. It's very yellow. You got to be careful, because it's like puts it. It really makes if it touches your skin, your skin gets yellow, and you can't get it off.
Where do you get the type of stuff, bro?
No, it's like it's spices. You can put it in food. Turmeric. Just Google it.
Okay.
It's very, very, very tasty if you put it on food. It's not that tasty, but it's very, very healthy, and it kind of like flushes all the negative stuff, all the toxins out of your body in the morning. You can really feel how it flushes the toxins out of your body. Like,
no way, I need that. How is it spelled?
You can I think it's TURMERIC.
TURA
TURM ERIC.
EIR. Oh.
I think it's also known under different names, but
it's called curcuma in Czech.
Kurkuma. Yeah,
Kurkuma.
That's the German name for it, or I don't know, are there any other name? Kurkuma.
Curcuma.
Well, honestly, so this might sound awkward, but actually, it's the truth. So you drink a warm glass of water with kurkuma and some pepper and like a little bit of oil as well. You can like put different stuff in it as well. If you drink that in the morning, the first piss you take, you just see how the toxic stuff flushes out of your system.
No way, I'm definitely trying this.
It really is like that.
I'm definitely trying this. That's interesting. So curcuma, pepper, and what?
Curcuma, pepper, and a little bit of oil, like coconut oil or something like that. Just a drop.
I'm gonna try it. Let you know.
Yeah, try it out. So this is the most important 3 routines I have in the morning, actually, and that's even before I check my smartphone, even before I do anything else. Like I just get up and do that, and it just like automatically like it's a mindset switch. Whatever mood you're in, if you don't want to get up, if you feel bad, if you feel angry, if you feel sad, if you feel like you don't have much motivation, if you do these things, it just helps me like my mindset goes like from any state into like productive state. It's like let's get shit done.
So you don't look at your phone before you're done with your morning routine?
Yeah. I try to never do that before I haven't done these 3 things. Then afterwards, if I still have time, like I usually go out for a bike ride and like try to get a little bit of workout in and go to a place that's very near my house, which has like a little lake.
With the really ducks and everything.
Yeah, it has all the ducks. Yeah, exactly. It's really a good place to chill, to like, meditate, get some workout in. There's a lot of places where you can like do some basic light body weight workout. You can just like there's like I don't know how you call it. There's a couple of
basically a playground where you can
sort of like not like a playground, but like it's like an outdoor gym basically. They have like things like an outdoor gym. They provide for free, which is from the city, which is really nice. And you can use that. You can like do some balancing. You can do like a little workout with your body weight, whatever it is that you want to do. Pull-ups, push-ups, dips, whatever you name it, you can do it. And before I go there, then I check my phone for like some messages. I try to reply to some messages, but not much else. And then I just try to shut off my phone and just go into like put music in my ears and go work out and go to that lake and just like have an hour for myself, basically, and just like let nothing else distract myself. And in that hour, basically, most of my plans come to my mind. So what I want to do today and what I have to do today. And then
so what time period is that? Is that from 6 a.m. to like 8, 9, something like that?
It's like 6 to 9. I would say 6 to 8. That's 6 to 8 basically, that time period. So getting up out of bed from 6 to like 6:30 and getting dressed and everything, and then from 7 to 8, that's the time that I just use for myself to just like, meditate, work out, get some time for myself. And then I come back and then I have breakfast, and breakfast is like celebration for me as well. Like I try to celebrate breakfast for like an hour at least. Just have a very, very strict routine about eating, like very, how do you call it? Mindful eating. I would even call it like
focused eating.
Yeah, I don't know. Like really not getting distracted, because I think it's the most important meal of the day for me. because it like if breakfast fails, my day goes to pieces. Really, because like this is the foundation of my day. Yeah, I'm really nerdy, and I'm very, very strict on these things, because but I found that these are the most healthy morning routines for myself to get started. Whatever I want to do, I'm in much like my mindset is just in such a better place. Like I can be sad, I can be depressed, and there's days like people always think like, oh, he's always like super chill dude, and like he can never be mad, and he can never be sad. And like, no, of course, like I'm a human, you know, you got all sorts of emotions every day going through your mind. But if I have these 3 hours in the morning, like I'm channeled, like I'm zen. You know, you can like, okay, now let's take it from here. Whatever comes, okay, we'll handle it in some way. And then whatever, yeah, that's the basis.
And when did you start doing that? Was there a time when, or you know, was there ever a time when the morning routine was not there, and when did that happen? And also, how could you tell the changes, if you know what I mean? How could you, or in what areas you saw the changes?
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. Well, the areas where I saw the changes was my productivity. So my productivity level just rose by so much, like I couldn't even explain. Because I think the time when I didn't do that was mainly when I was doing things all over the place, when I was like more like you described in the beginning, like streaming all day, or playing. Basically, back in the days, it was like playing poker and not really sticking to routines there. Starting, I just come to notice, to realize I had a time in my life where I started playing poker at 5 a.m. in the morning. I got up out of bed, and then I started to jump into the tables. Or a late night, I came home from whatever it was, from a trip or from something else. I just like, hey, let's play the Sunday Storm, let's play the Sunday Million, let's play this, let's play that, and just don't even realize, well, if I want to play the Sunday Storm, if I want to win it, then I probably have to be awake at like, you know, early morning next day. So, and that what does that mean for my next day, and what does that mean for the next week, and so forth. So, yeah, my productivity rose, and also it got easier to make plans. It got easier to make plans, to make business plans, to actually see things grow. And to see what made it grow, and not like being unfocused and just think like, oh, playing poker all the time is the way to go, streaming all the way is the way to go, because that's what you want to do initially. Like when you start playing poker professionally, or when you start streaming as a professional streamer, all you think is like, how can I make more money? How can I get more subscribers? How can I get more? And then obviously the first thing that you think about is like, well, probably I have to stream more, I have to play more, because if I win more money, I want to win more money, so I have to play more poker. If I want to get more followers, I have to stream more. But actually that's not true. It's the complete opposite. It's like, if you want to grow, like you have to do it in a way that is healthy for you, and that is also the way that is healthy for your audience, because they have you in a healthy and in a healthy and in a good state where you can deliver what you are best at, then that's when they want to watch you the most. And that's also this. Sure. I think that's kind of the same. The same is true for playing poker, or for like sort of any sports that you want to be in. If you want to be an athlete or whatever, I think you have to find the times that you're best at, like delivering, or that's the best for your body to train, or for your mind to be present. You know.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Yeah, because you know, when you're not okay within yourself, and you're not scheduled within yourself sounds weird, but that's basically like when you don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it, all the stuff that you're doing will just not work, or it will work for a short period of time, but you will not be able to sustain it.
Yeah,
for a long period of time.
You want to deliver something. So at the poker tables, in a stream, you want to deliver value. And how are you supposed to deliver value to people if you're not feeling well? I mean, people will notice, and it won't be fun for you, and people will see that it's not fun for you. And if they see it's not fun for you, then it's not fun for them. So the best way to take care of it is to see what are the best kind of times for you to do the things that you like doing. And if you feel forced to do something just because you think, well, I gotta grow or I gotta make more money, playing poker, for instance, then playing all day is probably not the best idea. Or like playing every day or streaming every day is probably also not the best idea.
Yep. What about nightly routine? Do you have something you do on a regular basis before you go to sleep? What happened? If you have some kind of a night routine before you go to sleep.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I usually go to sleep I try to go to sleep very early. I usually reply to Instagram messages before I go to sleep. I just generally like to reply to messages late at night. And then sometimes I just like watch some other Twitch streamers or like a series to unwind and to just get my head cleared, because it's tough to get your thoughts off work when you come home. And I think you need something like, I haven't tried reading a book because I'm not really into reading that much. I've never been a big fan of reading, but I like listening to stuff. Like I like listening to podcasts, for instance. I like to watch some I do like to watch like I don't know, say some Netflix series. At the moment, it's like a Star Wars series that I'm watching, Star Wars Rebels. And like it's only like 20 to 30 minutes, but it's like something that kind of like takes my mind off everything. Because I need something at the end of the day that takes my mind off what I've been doing all day. Because otherwise I can't sleep. So that kind of like is something that I've also built as a little routine at the night times. And then I try to get to sleep very early. I try to get to sleep before 12 because I really see a big difference. Like if I go to sleep, it's weird. It's that time. I don't know why people have it. Like when I go to sleep after 12 and I wake up in the early morning, it's not the same. When I go to bed before 12, it's like this one, even if it's just 1 hour before 12, it just
makes a difference.
Feels so, the energy level the next day is so, it's weird. Maybe that's just a mindset thing.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's something with our bodies, because I have the same. So you get 6 to 7 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah, I get like 7 is good. 6 is like standard, I would say, which is not good because I know I need 7. I actually need 7.
Yeah, so for me, I go to sleep, or I try to go to sleep at 3 a.m. and I wake up at 10. So that's 7 hours of sleep for me. And sometimes it usually happens when I edit, because right now I have one day when I edit all the stuff for myself. I have some other projects and other things that I have to edit. I have a separate day for that as well. But it usually happens when I edit. Let's say I go to sleep at 3:20 or 3:30. The morning is the same, but the energy level is just different, even though it's been just like 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Right.
It's just, I don't know like what causes that, but I can feel the difference as well. Even if it's just a couple of minutes, you can really tell the difference and feel the difference.
Notices. Your body punishes you for it.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm just, to even it out, when I go to sleep at 3:30 a.m., I set my alarm to 10:30 a.m. so I get the 30 minutes more sleep. It doesn't help though. It doesn't help.
The thing is, like, I don't know about you, but what I found is like your body gets used to waking up at. It doesn't matter if you stay up late or if you go to bed early. Like I usually wake up before my alarm, which is like my body is conditioned to waking up before my alarm. Like 5 minutes before my alarm, I'm awake. I don't even need my alarm. I don't even know why I'm setting it anymore because I don't need it. But it's still like I'm setting it and I'm waking up before it every single time. And the same applies to when I go to bed late. It doesn't matter. Like my inner clock is ticking. So I know that I got to take care of going to bed earlier, because the earlier I go to bed, the more likely I am to get into that high performance state the next day. So that's, for me, that's been a big issue, and I'm trying to really like, but it's so tough sometimes, because sometimes you have so much going on that you want to get shit done in late nights as well. And like sometimes you also lose yourself in doing these things, because you go like, oh, I just started this, so I just want to get this done. And I think you can do it short term, and maybe you should like probably find some sort of way to balance it the next day, so you don't overextend the next day as well. But yeah, I'm really struggling. I'm struggling to do this optimally, I think.
I was just about to ask, have you, because I had issues with it as well, have you ever done the trick with the alarm clock, when you set your alarm to, I don't know, 8 a.m., then you set another one for 8:10 a.m., and then you set another for 8:20 a.m., like 3 alarms clock. Basically one, turns on, you turn it off, then you sleep for another 10 minutes. Basically you keep giving yourself 10 minutes. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I mean, I have this on my phone like this. So my first alarm is like usually 6 something, and then 6:20 is the next one, the latest. I usually have like 2 alarms. But anyways, like mostly I get up before my alarm. Like jump straight out of bed. I make it like a competition for myself to jump out of bed before my alarm, because I don't know, I feel like slacking when I don't.
Yeah, because I was just about to say that I used to do that, and I thought it's just like, I thought it was a good way for me to not put too much pressure on me in the morning, and just to kind of get out of bed, chilled. But then I realized I was just bullshitting myself hard. It's just like, bro, like, come on, man. Like,
kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, now it's just like one alarm clock, because like you don't realize when the alarm clock like goes off, like you had to turn it off, like you had to press it or do whatever, which means you were awake already. Like you could make the decision to get out of bed, but you were like, whatever. Like you get basically lazy, because you know that you can afford another 10 minutes, and it doesn't look like a big thing, but I think it builds long-term laziness in you. If you keep giving yourself extra 10 minutes every fucking morning, it just adds up, and it kind of shows the character of yourself. If it shows you like what like what's really inside you.
Yeah, I was just thinking of this, and I thought like, well, when we speak about mindset, coming back to the topic of this podcast, actually, when it comes to mindset, I think it's about making an active decision when you want to get up, and not when some external forces you to get up or dictates when you should get up. That's why I like waking up before my alarm, because I'm the one who makes the decision.
Yeah, not the alarm. Yeah.
Not the alarm tells me to wake up now, but I know like, oh, the alarm is going to go off, but I made the decision to get up before that fucking alarm.
Yeah, so, you beat the alarm.
That is a mindset win. That's a win for me already for the day.
Yeah,
that's a winner mindset, I think.
Yeah, definitely is. So, that's dope. You said you meditate in the park?
Well, I've done a lot of meditation in the summer. I've been slacking, and I want to get back into it. Like the thing that I do is like something that I learned on the Tim Ferriss podcast, which he did with Tony Robbins, where basically Tony Robbins told him like to do an exercise which is really quick to exercise, to force yourself really to be grateful or to feel gratitude for things that you have in your life right now. So basically it's just like a couple 5 minutes that take off, and just make some deep breaths and think of like 4 or 5 key things in my life right now that I'm really grateful for, that I'm really happy for. And that gives you a really good way to put everything into perspective right now that you have going on in your life, whatever type of emotions that might be, or whatever type of shit that's going down right now, or stuff that you struggle with. So you have perspective. So for me, it's, for instance, like one big thing is like, I'm super grateful for being able to have that celebration of breakfast right after I do that meditation. Like I go ahead, like it's so weird. Like I go ahead and do that exercise of gratitude, and I tell myself I'm grateful that I will have the time now to have an hour where I can like celebrate breakfast. You know, it's like some basic shit. Like some people that usually I'm pretty sure like some people don't even waste a thought about breakfast. Like they probably just grab a bite to eat somewhere on the way to go. Like they grab a coffee to go, and they don't even have breakfast or whatever. But I'm like, you know, if you like go, okay, there's people who probably don't even like there's people in this world that don't have breakfast at all, or they're struggling to get food, or like it's you know, it's insane. So being in a position, being privileged like that to have an hour to celebrate breakfast, that's fucking amazing, man.
That's a big thing, yeah.
That's a fucking amazing thing.
It sounds funny, but
everything
it's a big fucking thing, actually.
Yeah. And just to be grateful for basic shit like that, that helps me. That helps a lot. So that's something that I'm doing regularly. I'm trying to keep up on a regular routine. But I used to do more than that in the summer, like especially in the summer. It's not that easy to meditate in the winter, I think.
Yeah,
because you don't find that many nice places. You don't find the calm. I think that it's not that, you know, feeling that calm, and I feel a little bit more rushed in the winter. I don't know why. Weird. Like in the summer, everything's more chill, and like you got the sun shining in your face, and like you got the temperature is really warm, and everything. It's easier to like settle down and have a half an hour or like 20 minutes to try and meditate and just like enjoy the moment and think about the things that you're grateful for, or just like not think about anything at all, basically. Which you want to do, of course, when you meditate. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing that I've been doing lately. What about you? What have you been up in the mornings? Like, what are your morning routines?
My morning routine is I'm on a new-ish morning routine for like past 1 month. It's gonna be almost 2 months, and I think it's the best yet that I've ever had. I can feel the changes in all areas, whether it's, you know, streaming, the gym, the mindset, you know, or just life in general. I think the morning routine really made a big difference for me. And actually it's not the biggest, but one of the key things that really helped me is not looking at my phone the first 30 minutes, you know, after I wake up. It's huge. Like, you know, I'm gonna tell you my old morning routine and the new one, and you can so let's say even like 2 or 3 months ago, I was doing the thing with the alarm clock, you know, 10 minutes, then I turn it off. I was laying in bed for another 30 minutes, and I was basically looking at my phone, you know, reading the emails, reading the comments, and just like scrolling through Instagram and everything, you know, which, once again, the alarm went off at 10 a.m. and it was like 10:50, and I was just laying in bed scrolling, you know, and replying and just reading comments. And of course, like some of the comments or whatever, you saw something that upset you, or like there was a troll or something, you know, even without really knowing it, it affected you. Like, I was never like, I was just like, whatever, but it was still somewhere back in my mind that someone said whatever about me, you know.
Yeah.
But since I stopped doing that, like looking at my phone the first 30 minutes, it was just a huge game changer for me. So now I don't bullshit myself anymore. The alarm, I still struggle a little bit with the waking up before the alarm clock. But yeah, it sometimes happens. Basically, I wake up, wash my face, you know, do the hygiene stuff, brush my teeth. I also drink water, just water, 250 milliliters. I'm gonna do the curcuma stuff now. I'm gonna try it. I'm excited about that.
But like the water thing is really super important. That's something that people miss out on. Like I drink that curcuma water, but I also another 750 milliliters after that. But okay, I have a health issue, so I need more water than other people do. But after sleep, you're dehydrated. You need the water. Like you so need the water, and your body needs it.
Yeah.
And so many people are just like not doing it at all. Like every time I talk to people, they're like, I don't drink anything until like, I don't know, after lunch or whatever. Like you must be so dehydrated. Your body just like, how can you operate? Like you will, I think there's a point where you'll realize it, or you realize the difference. Because like having that hydration is like
super important. Yeah.
So important. Yeah.
So I drink the water and then I immediately meditate. I try to do at least 10 minutes every morning, but sometimes I just go too deep into it, and then I don't know, 10, I would say like average is 15 minutes. Without looking at my phone, I just kind of get into the zone, and I just kind of get out of it kind of naturally, which I think is really important as well. Like some people set like a time frame to meditate. I don't really think that's a good way to do it, because like you never know like how long it's gonna take you to get into the
to the state
to the state that you need to get to. I meditate, and then basically I do the work, whatever it is. If it's basically, I go to the gym 3 days a week. So if it's a gym day, I go to the gym. Actually, no. Before I go to the gym, I put out an Instagram clip. Gotta be consistent with the Instagram clips.
Yeah.
So Instagram clips, Facebook clip, Twitter clip. But once again, I just put out the clip. I don't go through the feed. I don't even read comments. I just post the clip, drop it, Facebook, Twitter, boom, turn off the PC and go do whatever. So if it's a gym day, I go to the gym. If it's not a gym day, I usually study in the morning, because once again, I think that's the best time frame where my brain is able to kind of get the information in the best. That's basically my first 2 hours after I wake up. I hope I did not forget anything, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
That sounds pretty good. That sounds very good. Yeah, I think like what I realize now also, again, like here, I mean, I think the key thing is to find something or to do something, whatever it is that you do. I think like I wouldn't recommend to people doing the same thing that I do. I would like you would same thing, different, and people are different, and everybody's different in that regard. I just think like you should try to have routines that just give you the power that you have control over how you start your day, and that you already book a win this way. Like, so you want to get your mindset into that state where, like, as you say, you don't look at your phone. So because looking at your phone puts you at risk that you are under the influence of something that you can control. You're under the influence of seeing an email, seeing somebody come up to you, seeing a random comment, seeing what happens on the feed, and then get distracted by that. So you're like under the influence of something else. But if you just focus the first half hour, the first hour of the day onto things that are just under your own control, I think that is the key part, because that gives you the power to also know that everything else is going to be under your control, or at least that you have the power to do things all day that like put you in a position to succeed with what you're trying to do.
When you start your day with a win, there is a high chance that you will be winning during the day.
And also, I think even more important than the win, like even though it feels like even more important is that I must have the feeling that I'm the one who controls all these things. I'm like the one who's in charge. I'm in charge of getting up before my alarm. I'm in charge of I'm not looking at my phone right now. I'm in charge of I'm gonna do hygiene. I'm gonna do the healthy water stuff for my body. I'm gonna do the workout right now. I'm gonna do the meditation before everything else, and then the day can start, because I set the foundation that gives me some sort of leverage. It gives me leverage on the day.
Yeah,
just like, hey, I'm the boss today. I said that. Nobody else nobody else has influence over me right now except myself and my mindset.
And I also think your brain the more and more you do it, your brain kind of gets rewired, and it kind of gets used to, or it thinks, or how can I say it? It operates more in a way, or basically the brain basically knows that most of the things are in your control, because you've been consciously, rewiring it with your morning routine. So it kind of gets, it's basically easier to think about whatever happens to you as your own response, or basically you realize that it's under your control, and it's thanks to the morning routine. And I also wanted to say, I forgot to add that before the hygiene, before washing my face, I make my bed. I think it's really important. Like it's huge.
That's an easy
it's
trick
easy
from the
win.
army, right?
Easy
They
win.
do it in the army all the time.
Easy win. Yeah. It's just like the same thing you have with beating your alarm clock to kind of start the day with the little win. The little win for me in the morning is to make my bed.
Yeah.
So huge as well. Yeah.
I think you can collect a lot of little wins in the morning if you just focus on appreciating the little things that will make your day eventually. Like you make your bed, you come back home, made, like my bed is made, and I can like go to bed and I'm like, hey, that looks nice. Or like you make your hygiene and then you feel better, and you afterwards you think like, hey, that's nice that I'm shaved right now. I feel really good. Like it's something like you have a lot of wins that seem obsolete, or that seem not really relevant, but they are, because you feel better. Like you just feel better about yourself because you are in charge. You were in charge when you made that decision. It made you feel better. So that is a key thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And as I said, your brain, gets used to it as well, because when it's used to winning, when it's used to everything being the way you want it to be, it just rewires and it gets used to it. If I wasn't doing the morning routine, my bed was all messed up and it would just be chaotic and everything. That's the way your life is gonna be. And once you realize that you can change that by simply doing simple things like making your bed, washing your face, drinking water, like simple things, little small wins that you appreciate, it can just have a huge impact on all areas of your life. So
yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah. So what's up?
My computer turns off for some reason, like after half.
What? That's
yeah,
crazy.
It's weird. Like saving energy.
Yeah. Is that like a thing in Germany, or your PC just decided to be?
I think this computer is just very old.
Eco-friendly.
My home
basically. It's eco-friendly.
Probably that might be.
Yeah. Okay, Felix. I would say like that would be it for this episode. Or would you like to add something more to the table?
I was just thinking, it's a good time to.
I can't really hear you, bro. Your mic is okay.
Oh. Check.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Better. Yeah, I was just thinking about some key points, like that we discussed to pick out of this podcast for people to take away. Maybe. I mean, as I say, I think for this podcast, I'm no expert. We're just learners. Like we're trying to share our experiences in these journeys that we're taking, and I think we're very, very crazy journey. I would say that's not really normal for many people, and we're still experimenting, and I'm still experimenting. I'm in a stretch where I'm always thinking of myself as trying to find things to optimize and to make better, but there's some basic things that are non-negotiable, like the morning routines, for instance, and also the stuff that is healthy for you. So you have a time frame and you have a certain health frame that you can move within, but within that frame you should do everything you can to accommodate, first of all, the basic needs for setting a basis for the day, as we just said, with the morning routines, and also to focus on what really makes you happy, what you enjoy the most. Yeah, I think that's key, because even though routines are healthy, they can get really, you can get into a rut as well. And sometimes like a rut is it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that doesn't get you any further anymore at some point. And like you have to like sometimes like break out of those
and evolve as well.
You have to evolve. Like for instance, I had a time where I was streaming every day the same schedule, and I found out that after a couple months I was just like getting super burned out, and that was not the thing that made me happy anymore, and that did my stream happy. So I had to naturally like evolve, even though at a sort of like health level, it made me feel very healthy and very content, because I had this strict schedule. I knew like what to expect from every day, and it was a very, very safe thing. But it was also something that didn't make me any happy anymore at some point. So like you have to be willing to evolve, as you say, and like experiment within the frames that you have, but still respect the frames that your body and the health require you to set. And yeah, just accommodate for the basic needs that you have.
Yeah. So basically, the key takeaways from the podcast would just be, first of all, self-esteem, and just kind of know yourself and know what works for you. I would say morning routine. Try to have a routine that just will put you in the right mindset, to
puts you in charge, and the charge
puts you in
mindset.
charge, and just gets you set for the day, and you will handle things differently. You will just talk to people differently. If it's a positive morning routine, which we both recommend, you will be just more positive in general. And yeah, just get to know yourself, know what works for you, and just roll with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we will actually, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna try to do the podcast every week, but I think it's kind of funny that we talked about the schedules and everything. We're gonna try to do our best to align our schedules to be able to do the podcast on weekly basis from now on. But if we don't, just have some patience with us. We will definitely like to continue with this project and just try to build it and do our best. But as you can see, we are both pretty busy doing our own projects and own things.
So this is more like, you could say, if it's a piece of passion, basically, which we try to like do on the basis of having like and really enjoying this talk. And I think it's important that to accommodate that sometimes there's times where both of us are not going to be in the right mindset to have like an enjoyable talk. Or
maybe we should just like not limit ourselves to do this weekly and just wait until we have some talk to some topic to talk about in a natural way.
Exactly.
Which kind of happened this week as well with the that's a good idea.
Exactly.
Actually.
We're
basically, guys, we are dropping the podcast whenever we feel like.
But still, we're gonna try to be as consistent as possible. That's how we roll. Sure. I mean, that's how natural tendency.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Once again, feel free to leave.
Have a great week and build some good, healthy morning routines.
For sure,
guys.
For sure, do your best.
I can't stress how much that has helped me set the basis for everything else that I do. Like put me in the right mindset. Next morning, just do something that you know is good for you and puts you in charge and puts you in a position to be in control of the day.
And I will also add one thing, like I know that some of you, or I hope that some of you will feel motivated by what you just saw or listened to, and you will feel super pumped to do it. The next day you will wake up like drink some, what was the stuff, the cucumber,
Curcuma.
yeah, curcuma stuff, and just meditate. You will do it.
I'm gonna do meditation.
Yeah, you will do it tomorrow. You might do it the next day as well. But most of you will just fall off or just not continue with it. So I really encourage you to do it and do it properly. Okay, I know it feels good right now to be, or I hope that at least one of you will feel good about what we just talked about, and will want to change something for himself. And you will do it tomorrow. You might do it the next day as well. But really, like, if you're really gonna do it, stay consistent. Really do it properly, and just there's like one big thing,
that's not negotiable. That's the one thing that will never be consistent in that kind of thing, and the rest will just fall into place if you work the right way.
Don't bullshit yourself ever. And if you bullshit yourself in the way you start your day, then as we already talked about, the rest of the day is affected by it as well. And if you bullshit yourself in the morning, you will bullshit yourself during the day. And if you bullshit yourself during the day, you will bullshit yourself during the week. And if you bullshit yourself during the week, it goes on. You just bullshitting your whole life basically, and that's not the right approach or right way to live, I would say. So as something as simple as just making your bed in the morning and drinking water can really have a huge impact, basically.
It really does. I promise. Try it out, guys.
Try it
Let
out.
us know what that effect had, what the effects were that had on you if you tried it out, and leave a comment below.
Definitely leave some feedback. If you have any additional questions, just type them in, and we'll answer as soon as possible. If you need some help, or you're struggling with something in your schedule, or basically if you have any questions, just
message us.
Just message us, and we will answer as soon as possible.
That's right.
Yeah.
So have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone.
Whatever time it is right now where you're listening this to. But we'll see you guys for the next episode.
See you soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back as soon as possible.
Yep.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.